know the area of a triangle with two sides and an angle between it is similar to that, but it's slightly different. Which formula am I talking about? The area of a triangle formula that is a half A AB or A times B. Some people say sine theta, some people say sine A, what kind of letter does it mean? It's not like that, but similar to that. So the formula is for the trapezium is a half by the sum of the two parallel sides by the height. Okay, so trapezium normally has two parallel sides. And some people will write like how one of you sent me it in the chat with a half multiplied by A plus B. But you have to be careful if you write it like that. If you're writing it like this, you have to be careful. Why do you have to be careful? Because normally when a question has more than one operation, you would use Bodo Bedmas, right? But the trick is if you write it like this, you might end up multiplying before you add and that'll be wrong. So if I were you, I would put this bracket off because that has to be worked out first. A and B has to be added first before you multiply by a half and, well, the other thing, which is the height. Right? So the safest thing, because brackets always indicate what is done first, right? Yep. Okay. So for those who don't know, the opposite sides that are parallel are normally the two straight sides. So they could bring the shape looking so too, they could bring it this other way. And it's the same thing. In this side, in this case, A could be this one and B with this one. It don't matter which of the two sides you put as A or B, the what you call them? These two are parallel sides. Why? Because as I've said before, and I can't remember what kind of question I told you all. Anytime you're adding something or multiplying them, it doesn't change. So if you say 7, add 2, and you get 9. If you switch it around, say 2 add 7, and you still get 9. So when it is you have to add numbers or multiply, it doesn't matter which one you put as what. I think it's sine rule. No. Cosine rule. That does apply where you have a squared and b squared. And what's the other one? Pythagoras when you need to find the hypotenuse, right? So anytime you add in, like A and B has to be added, which is the length of the two parallel sides. It don't matter which one you put as A or B, because when you add, you still get the same thing, regardless of which number you put first or second. Once it's the same two numbers, right? So I'm using A as 18, using B as 8. The height is here. Okay. Oh, we need to find the height first because I was not gonna say where the height is, but they gave us the area. I forget I read that, yes. Okay, so this is the area. So we know what the area is, so we'll replace area with that. And we need to find the height. Now, what will I do? Nobody figure it out yet. You all know this is paper one, right? So you're kind of using a calculator. Don't even try it. Use your brain, okay? Use your brain, your finger, your pencil, whatever. You understand? No calculators. So obviously we have to transpose. Yes, correct. Very good. So somebody's on the ball here. You got to transpose. At least two people are on the ball here. I feel you're trying to get some distinctions, and that's nice, you know. Okay. So before I transpose though, because this could be a little tricky to transpose to make it easy to transpose, I just normally simplify what I can simplify this and then transpose. So it don't become a very complex transposition. So I will add that because I could simplify that with 18 and 8 is what? 8 and 8 is 16. 1 and 1 is 2. So I can take off the brackets because remember A half and h has to be multiplied by what's in brackets after what's in brackets has been simplified. So I just simplified to 26. So the height has to be multiplied by that, and a half has to be multiplied by this, equal to 65. Now, at this conjunction, I can transpose or I can simplify it one step further. Why? Because everything here is multiplication, so it wouldn't cause a problem. If it had different signs, if it had an addition sign here, which it wouldn't because it's a trapezium we deal with, but if a question had like an addition sign here, no, no, no. If it had addition sign here, I could have still simplified because multiplication according to Benmas has to be done before addition when you're not transposing yet. Because I didn't start to transpose nothing yet, eh? Okay, when I started transposing, when I started to move across things by either multiplying or dividing or adding or taking away on both sides, I ain't started to transpose yet. I simplifying first. But what I'm saying is, just so I'm trying to put back this multiplication I was here just now. Yeah, if it had an addition sign over here, if it had an addition sign over here, then I cannot simplify any further. Why? Because there's a multiplication sign as well, and I cannot, if I say 26 by h, I'm not going to simplify. I still need to find h. I still need to get h by itself. So I cannot add before I multiply. So then that would have been a problem. I had to transpose from here. But because of the fact that it's not breaking the Bedmass rule, and it has two multiplications, right? A half multiplied by 26 multiplied by h, I can continue to simplify and then transpose. So it makes my transposition so much easier. So half of 26, I'm going to put it here as 13. So then I remain 13 by h is equal to 65. Okay. Um, transpose 13. Okay, yes. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Yeah, so you could move the 13. And how do we move 13? It's being multiplied by h, so we do the opposite or inverse of multiplication, which is to divide. We divide by 13 here, divide by 13 here. Looks looking weird as ever. It makes sense why it's looking weird now because all of this is decimal. So the answer had to be some decimal. Well, 5.0 is actually 5. So it could be 5. 8.0 is 8. So that's a whole number, but they say write it in a decimal form to trick students. Yeah, 13 to 13 is 1, leaving us with h is equal to All right, here comes the 13 timetables. I know that 3 13s are 39. What is 4 13s? I don't know what that is. 4 by 3, 14 to 12. Let's testing this out. 4 3s are 12. 1 4 is 4, was 5. That close enough, but not good enough. So let me see if I try again, if I'll get a number closer to 65, or if I get it bigger than 65, then I know how to use what I just got. So 13 multiplied by 5. 3 5s are 15. 1 5 is 5 and 1 is 6. Okay, perfecto. So 65 divided by 13 is 5. So the height is 5 centimeters. And that's what people say, but how that looking? So 5.0 is 5. Okay, don't make CXC trick you all like that. What scenario would you get negative 13? Negative 13? Well, if in a question like this, you wouldn't really get that in a question like this, because if they give you one of those sides to be a negative number, then something wrong. A side cannot be a negative number. If they give you like